So what is the future of comic book grading? Hi everyone, welcome to MJ Comics. Today's video I want to take a bit of a dive into the world of comic book grading in 2024. Before I start this topic, I want to start by saying I've been a fan of CGC for years. The channel was primarily in its inception a CGC unboxing channel, and I have like nearly 200 CGC slabs. I'm probably the very definition of a CGC fanboy. So considering grading is supposed to be about the encapsulation and preservation of our beloved comic books, this past year we've had a lot of scandals hit the hobby. And it seems every other day something in the grading world is happening. So let's take a look at CGC, the world's premier comic book grading service for about the last 20 years. They were hit with the reholder scandal at the back end of 2023. The case was blown wide open to the community by my good friends Manu from the 9.9 Newsstand and Dave from West Coast DAvengers. Please go and check out their interview with Matt Nelson, the CGC president, on Dave's channel. In fact, something of a bit of a sore point for me is that CGC actually unfollowed me on Instagram. It was around the time of the reholder scandal where I actually shared a post from Automatic Comics just purely saying how concerning this issue was, and they actually unfollowed me. So it's pretty that's pretty annoying. And then fast forward 6 or 7 months later, we now have Bendgate, Bananagate, the banana curve issues affecting comics, affecting CGC comics. We don't really know the approximate number, but a lot of books are suffering from being damaged on the spine, caused by these new inner wells. Something that CGC have now come out and said they have now fixed it, but apparently these inner wells aren't damaging your books. So then what have you fixed? Okay. There's been plenty of coverage from various different YouTube channels, including Swaggle House Comics and Automatic Comics. Which brings me on to the next grading company, CBCS. Now, CBCS have, in response, made some hilarious videos on the Bananagate. CBCS have always played second fiddle to CGC. They can never really quite get the look of the labels looking as good, but I've got to admit their current slabs are the best they've ever looked. They should really be focusing their efforts on trying to take as much business from CGC at the moment, but instead they have now decided to go after 2 former employees, with one of those employees in fact moving across to PSA. Something to do with the idea of using subgrades on comic books, very, very similar to what's happening in the trading card world. Now, Beckett, who owns CBCS, they have already used like this subgrade system, so it's nothing new. Let's be honest, those labels don't look very great either. And CGC have already done this with their trading cards as well. PSA don't even do subgrades on their cards, so really no idea why CBCS would be doing this and be so concerned. But the difference here is obviously they're trying to bring this to the comic book grading, I guess. Does anybody even want this? Maybe as an additional service, but it's not really something I'm concerned about. So that brings me on to PSA, the world's leading sports trading card service. They are not really shy of their own controversies in the past, but next year they are hoping to start their own comic book grading service. Something the likes of the community are really interested in, because really we want like CGC to have some real competition. Hopefully it improves them as a service, as an organisation, but it keeps everybody on their toes. But people really aren't too happy with the way that the slab currently looks, so that could change in the future. There's been a couple of prototypes knocking about in which that Manu, the 9.9 Newsstand, and Mickey from Swaggle House Comics have both laid their hands on. So what is the future of comic book grading? I have not sent off any books to CGC since well before the reholder scandal last year. I wanted to send some off quite recently, but then obviously the Bendgate issue happened, so that's really put me off again. And to be fair, CGC's response to all that, as in it's not really good enough as a business for me. And then I thought about even sending some books off to CBCS. They've got a Stephen Butler private signing coming up, one of my favourite artists from the 90s, so I thought I'll send some books that way. But now with their whole lawsuit going on, it kind of seems to me it's a bit petty. They really should be focusing as much as their efforts on taking business away from CGC. If I'm being totally honest, guys, you should really stick to doing your Bendgate videos. I guess what I'm saying is everybody's looking at PSA at the moment to see what they're going to do. The current state of comic book grading is possibly at its worst. What do you guys think? Can CGC turn it around? Can CBCS focus on trying to take as much business from CGC as possible? Or will the new kid on the block, PSA, shake things up? Either way, 2025 is going to be an exciting year for comic book grading, and there's hopefully going to be some big changes. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and a comment, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching. Bye.